All right, so welcome back to another episode of the Unikernel Application Spotlight. This week we are looking at RocketMQ-Rust. So this little project is basically an attempt to convert RocketMQ, which is a messaging queue, to Rust. So this is more than just bindings. This is like a whole brand new implementation written in Rust. I don't really need to go over the benefits here, but they take advantage of async. They like the MSL properties of Rust. There's other security reasons too, and I'll point out how those interact with unikernels as well. But just to quickly reiterate, Apache RocketMQ is the actual project, and they're trying to stay somewhat on par, I think. But this is actually written in Java. So messaging queues in general make their way into all sorts of enterprise systems for lots of different reasons. Generally speaking, it's all about the data, right? So, and basically the RocketMQ-Rust people looks like might be just one or two developers here. They kind of took it on themselves to make a Rust version of it. So to dive in real quick on maybe why this might be good for Rust and why it might be good for unikernels, we can take a look at CVE-2023-33246. And so this was an RCE that was discovered in RocketMQ. And basically, if you read through this, there's a way where you can update this config via unauth, and during the config update, the way that the marshalling is being done is you essentially can inject commands into these variables. And so instead of setting these variables to whatever they should be, this author Adida, he actually was injecting Adida.text, and yeah, so you can see kind of basically the command that he was injecting. Now, those of you that have been using unikernels, you know full well that this is a great example of a security attack that just does not happen on nanos unikernels whatsoever, because we don't support it. We don't even have the notion of a shell. We don't have that class of vulnerability that we deal with, and this is, again, in my opinion, this is a pretty hair on fire type of weakness that you can find in software. Memory safe languages, this and that. I just don't buy it that that's the main vulnerability anymore. I think it's really this command injection that's so horribly bad out there. Anyways, so you can kill two birds with one stone by using RocketMQ-Rust, and then you take this and you throw it into a set of unikernels. And I said set, so I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we scroll down here, there's actually kind of two main components that you really need. Technically, we're going to show you four today, but to kind of like get this up and running, there's two of them. One is the nameserver, and then the other one is I think he meant to say broker, not borker. But yeah, so the broker here, and once you have those up, then you can spawn a consumer and a producer, and then you can send your messages as you see fit, right? So let's go ahead and get into it. So I made two packages for these. Now, just like most of the packages you see under my name, most of these I would take as examples. So you can fork the package, you can copy the package and kind of edit it the way that you think it should work. And in this case, you'll definitely want to do that because I definitely stubbed some default values in. Like anything, jumping into a new code base that you don't know, and I don't really work in Rust that much either. Sometimes stubbing is just a quick and easy way to kind of get stuff out, and I'll show you what I did. But let me go ahead and show you that. So this is the actual Git repo. These are the changes that I actually stubbed out. You can see here, I changed this to 10022. Again, this is for demo purposes. This was on the broker side. I think because this is a new project that for whatever reason, I just could not pass this in via CLI flag. And I didn't spend too much time trying to figure out why. So I just threw it in there. And then local IP, this makes use of netlink, which today we don't really have proper netlink support in nanos. I don't know if we want to add that or not. If you guys think strongly on that, you can mention it on the nanos repo, but we don't have that right now. And so for this, again, I just stubbed it to the any interface of 000. And yeah, I mean, we use like old school GetIf adders and things like that, which by the way, a lot of the BSDs do. The netlink is actually a Linux only type of thing. The whole like joke about like, oh yeah, POSIX is, compatible everywhere. I mean, that's obviously bullshit, right? So yeah, and then the exact same sort of thing down here to set the name server. Like I said, this project's young. You probably won't need these stubs like in another week because the issues I was running into probably you wouldn't run into. So yeah, I'm just showing you what I did there. It really is not that much at all though. So we can go ahead and start things. We're going to start the name server, then we're going to start the broker. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do the name server first. It says it's up. Then we're going to do the broker. So we pop that guy up. And you can kind of see down here that started, it registered broker. So these two are having fun in the sun. We're going to throw up our consumer. This is another thing that I kind of ran into when I was playing around with this. And I quite didn't look at this too much. But let me just kind of kickstart it, so to speak. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if we go back to the examples, these are the examples that I used. As you might guess in the examples repo. So yeah, this send a single message, basically, is it examples, quick start? Yeah, so these are the two actual files here. And I literally cut and paste this stuff into two new Rust projects and then built it with Cargo. It wants nightly for, I'm not sure what reason, but I think that's kind of a given on anything in Rust land that's slightly bleeding edge. And so our consumer is just going to, consume the messages that we send it. Our producer, pretty self-explanatory as well, is just going to ship those messages saying, hello, RocketMQ. So yeah, I think this is running now. And so if we do this producer test, you can kind of see that it's shipping those messages off. And, just to blow this so you can kind of see it in action. So pretty straightforward, right? And, like I said, I literally just cut and paste this. So even if you don't really know Rust, it's pretty easy to get started. I didn't look too much to see how interoperable this is with the Java stuff. I think a goal is for that, but I didn't spend too much time on that. Anyways, so I just wanted to show you that it's cool. Like I really like it when people take these projects that were written in JVM and then they convert it to something like Rust or Go or something like that. It's just, it's just so much easier to work with sometimes. And it like I said, it kills two kind of security stones really hard and fast, as shown in this. And by the way, I think this RocketMQ has actually had quite a few CVEs in the past. I didn't even look, but I kind of just, I'm on a couple mailing lists and I'm pretty sure I've spotted it a handful of times. But yeah, so now you can, you can run your broker as a unikernel, your consumer as a unikernel, the producer as a unikernel, and the name server as a unikernel. So lots of moving puzzles in this for like a full setup. But being able to run it all in unikernel land just immediately mitigates so many problems. All right, till next time. Bye.